Hey, it's Gavin for 106.1 KISS FM, hanging out here at another wonderful Pink production, joined, as always, by the wonderful director, Kensington.
Blaylock Egg. I think we're best friends, let's be honest. Is that what you leaned in for, was the best friend?
Yes, and I wanted you to finish your own name.
Blaylock Egg.
Yes. I feel like we're like a first-name basis, though.
We are, but also, like, we're literally at, like, a friendship level. This feels weird. We shouldn't even be interviewing each other. We should just do, like, a Snapchat. And that should be enough. Now,
this show is one of the more serious offerings of this season of Think Pink, and it's Boy Gets Girl.
Yes, this is one of two shows that are really not funny at all. There are some comedic moments of it, but ultimately we're exploring some things that we don't talk about as a society. We're talking about male and female conditioning. We're talking about male perception of female behavior and what women think they're supposed to do and they're supposed to respond to male advances. It's a scary show, and the reason that we're doing it is when Brandon, my husband, who's in our shows, he selects the material, and when he presented the show to me, I read it, and I was really deeply disturbed, and I had to step away from it a few different times to finish it. And I realized if this is so deeply moving to me, this is something we need to share with Evansville. And we've also partnered with Willow Tree, which is an organization that helps victims of violent situations, and they're going to be providing some literature in the lobby pre-show, so that'll be really nice for us. But we just want to spread the word about these kind of situations, which are really scary and something that you don't know about unless it happens to you. I'm
here with Mary Lynn, who plays Detective Beck in this show. Can you tell me a little bit about your character?
My character is there to help Teresa and kind of show her how serious stalking is, and trying to help her out and make her realize that this is a really serious issue.
How serious is stalking?
Very serious. I've never been stalked, but I think that in the show it's very nerve-wracking. Just even being backstage or being on stage when some of the stalking action happens, it's crazy. It's very nerve-wracking.
Maybe if you had a minute, maybe we could get a sandwich, maybe we could talk.
I'm here with Kara, who plays Harriet in the show. So what is Harriet's role in the whole stalker situation?
Well, without giving away too much, Harriet is very naive, and I think that she allows her just general wanting to be nice to everyone play into that whenever she first meets Tony, and then it just kind of spirals from there to where things get a little worse for Teresa, and Harriet does not see the side of it that Teresa is living.
I'll get started on you later.
Great.
I'm here with Colin, who is considerably older than the last time we saw you.
I've aged quite a bit, Gavin.
Now, in the show, who do you play?
I play Howard. He is Teresa's boss. He's seen some stuff in his life himself. And basically his role in the whole thing is trying to keep Teresa on the rail.
I'm really drawn in right now. Like, you adjust, and I feel like I had to adjust as well.
That's okay. That's how we roll. That's what acting is, my boy.
Are you dating somebody?
How do you approach a show that deals with such heavy themes?
Well, I'm only speaking for me, but I'm very tired. So I can only imagine how the actors feel, because it's a very heavy show. The material is very deep, but really they're human. So we're just talking about very human situations, and what do you do when you're thrust into a situation that you couldn't be trained to encounter and to deal with. So we spend a lot of time talking about, how your anxiety builds up, what your stakes are, and how really how we start relationships, because stalking is the primary theme of our show. And stalking at first, it starts out sexy. Like, stalking doesn't start out as stalking. Typically it's romantic, and you're like, oh, this person really can't live without me, and it's cute and it's funny and sweet, until suddenly it's not, and it doesn't stop. So really, I think it's just been a lot of dialogue between the actors and myself. I think they've all been talking with one another to kind of come up with some things for their characters. But it's deep and it's heavy, and it's the first show that we've presented that there's not spectacle here. You're sitting here and you're listening. Then the scene changes and you sit and you listen. And that's what the show is about, is really listening and having a very human interaction with us.
Now, how did you approach this role of being an older man?
I have to confess that I'm actually secretly a 45-year-old man in my soul, so this was a lot easier for me than playing youthful and jovial and all of that. But it was difficult because Howard has a very different way of thinking about the world, and especially how men relate to women, than I do. So that was a real challenge of kind of forgetting some of the lessons that I have learned, and kind of having them reinforced again through Howard's eyes. It was an interesting approach.
So how much of yourself did you bring to this role of Harriet?
Well, my wardrobe, so that's fun. I like that a whole lot. And I had to tap into the inner dumb blonde that lives within me to really bring Harriet out. So it wasn't that hard.
Now, how can people get tickets for this show?
They can call me Gavin, just like you do, at 812-456-8719. I do recommend that you try to get your seats in advance for this one because I have a feeling that this is going to sell out pretty fast. And we are seating limited to about 75 a night. So come check it out.
I'm joined now by Think Pink Staples, Jeff Dumont, and Brandon Eck.